Hi, I'm Millie, and today, let's talk PCOS. This isn't really my usual content, at all, but I recently saw a statistic that said around 70% of women who are affected by PCOS have not been diagnosed. And to me, 70% is an absolutely crazy number. And I think back to how confused I was with my body and my symptoms and everything that I was experiencing before I got diagnosed. And I want to share my story, so if somebody comes across this video and says, hang on, I recognize some of those symptoms, that was what was happening to me, I want them to be able to get diagnosed too. I want to make that 70% a little smaller. So before I get into my actual diagnosis story, I wanted to share a little side story related to PCOS, but that happened almost 10 years ago now, probably like 7 to 10 years ago. But it was something I won't forget because I was fishing with my family, my mum, my dad, and my brother. We were all out and I was sat next to my mum and she turns to me and she says, Millie, do you think you have PCOS? And I was like, what? Mummy, what is PCOS? I don't know. And she was like, I think you might have PCOS. Some of the symptoms line up with, how you are. And maybe you have it. And I don't think I ever really thought about it too much. I didn't go get checked. I didn't have a look to see if I could have PCOS. But after I got diagnosed, I remember that conversation. I don't even think my mum remembers it. I haven't asked her. But I remember that. And I was like, how did she do that when doctors missed it? But that was so random to me. She just came out of nowhere and was like, do you think you have PCOS? But yeah, that I will never forget. But let's get into my actual diagnosis story. So to start this story, we're gonna have to go back to mid-2020. So it's been a while and this took a while to come through, but yes, we start in mid-2020 and my period disappeared and my hair started falling out and I had no idea what was happening. Obviously, first thing you do when your period is late, you take a pregnancy test. And I took a pregnancy test and it was kind of a faint positive. I took a couple more and over time, some of them were kind of positive, some of them were negative, and I was just confused and very upset. I had no idea what was going on, so I booked in a test to go see a doctor. I was like, you know what? Test my blood. Take my blood away, test it, tell me what's going on. And after the test, my doctor called me and he said, you are no longer pregnant, you had a miscarriage, and your thyroid is a bit weird. But that's it. That was it. I was 18, I didn't really question it, and I was like, okay, sure, I guess that's what I have to deal with. I had my thyroid tested again at a later date, a couple of months after, and it was completely normal. So I was like, you know what, I'll move on. My period it stayed bad for a while. My cycle was up to 100 days at one point, and then I think it reduced to about 45 to 60. And I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea what to do, and it was just getting frustrating. The year after, in 2021, things were getting worse. I hadn't been pregnant again, but I started gaining weight. My period was irregular, and I had a lot of acne. So even now, let me get some close and personal. I don't have good skin, even now. But a lot of the marks I have on my face are left over because I pick at my skin, please don't do that, it's really bad. But a lot of the marks on my face are from skin picking, and my skin has mostly cleared up. But I had very bad acne, and I was feeling incredibly self-conscious with my hair falling out, acne, weight gain. I was feeling sluggish, I had no energy, I was just feeling horrible, and I had no idea what to do. So I went to a different doctor. I was like, doctor, just tell me what's going on, okay? Just find out something. I had so many possibilities of what could have been going on. and I don't even think I registered PCOS on there, but I knew there was so many things that could happen. So he sent off for a blood test, and it came back, and it wasn't good. I wish I still had the documents to show you, but I left them in Australia because I didn't want to look at them anymore. But he was like, we're gonna get you booked in for an ultrasound. And then I did an ultrasound for the first time in my life. It was horrible. I don't think I'll ever want to do an ultrasound again until I get pregnant. Like, it was awful. And I've done probably 5 or so since then, just to check everything is normal and it's not weird. Ultrasounds are horrible. No one tells you how horrible they are, but mostly because the place I went to in Australia, it was free through Medicare, which great, obviously, you know, I love the Australian healthcare system. It was really good. It was, you know, super helpful. Big shout out to the Australian medical system. But obviously being free meant other people were also going there. So I was sat with like 2 liters of water in my bladder for like 3 hours while I was waiting. Horrible situation. But they did 2 types of ultrasounds, one through the top and one internal. Both were very uncomfortable, but they did show that I had PCOS. And a lot of people, you know, they're like, okay, let's move on. I was not like that. I got the information from my doctor in an appointment, and he said, you know, you should, I was 19, I believe, and he said, you know, you should either get pregnant or permanently go on birth control. And I just got married like less than a year ago. Like, I didn't even know what to think. I called into work because I was working then. Called into work and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stay home. And thankfully my manager, she was lovely. She was like, I know how important having kids to you is. I know how like hard this news is gonna be. So yep, stay home. Like, no one is worried. Do whatever. And I just cried all day. It was one of the hardest days of my life, I think. Like, even thinking about it now, I'm getting kind of emotional. It was really hard. Like, you know, I have always wanted kids is something, even now, the fact I don't have kids now is incredibly upsetting to me when I think about it. But knowing that news then, I was like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do in my life. So I spent a long time crying. And then for other unrelated reasons, I got sick worse. So I was just, everything was awful. And I stopped working at that time. So now you know I became a housewife. I was so sick, I could barely get out of the bed. I was so depressed and heartbroken. And it was just horrible. It was really tough. Now we skip forward to mid-2024. So 6 months ago-ish, I decided I wanted to change everything. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't constantly wonder where my period is. I can't wonder, you know, why my acne is like this. I can't wonder why I'm gaining weight. Like, I have to change something. And I changed a lot. I put a lot of work in and I was doing a lot of different stuff. I was walking a lot, especially. I was changing up my diet. I was taking vitamins. And I was doing everything I could to improve my health. I then went to an entirely different doctor. I moved apartments, found a new place, new doctor. And I was like, you know what, I just need a blood test. I have had PCOS, like, diagnosis in the past. I want to see how that's going. And I went in, I got a blood test, and I got an ultrasound as well. And everything was normal. Everything was within normal range. I mean, my ovaries looked a little funky. He was like, it looked like I had recently had a cyst burst, but there was nothing else that like sent off alarm bells for concern. And my blood tests were all within normal range, which is absolutely crazy to say. I realized that, you know, lifestyle changes can really affect PCOS, and I have lost weight. Not where I want to be, but I'm getting closer to where I want to be. my acne has reduced. I do have back acne for some reason, which is really actually kind of annoying because it's just out of my like skin picking rage. So I do still pick my skin. Horrible, really bad, don't do it. But I have increased my hair density. It's not perfect. I do suffer with some mild hair loss. But also, this looks worse than it is. I just have like light colored hair at the roots and stuff. But I have reversed a lot of my symptoms. I have changed a lot of my habits and stuff. And I really want this to be a good year for me. I don't know if it will be. And if not, the future will be better. But I am going to start going to the gym with my husband next month. We have decided to buy a gym membership together. Fun. And, you know, I take my supplements, my magnesium, my inositol, my vitamin D, my everything. I eat a pretty healthy diet, try to get a lot of protein. I do a lot of walking. Not at the moment, it's been really cold, but I'm working on that. But yes, I have just changed a lot of my life and my PCOS has improved, and it's not healed. You can't remove PCOS. It is a chronic condition and, you know, a chronic illness, and it will be there for the rest of my life. But the symptoms can be managed and you can no longer fit the diagnostic criteria, even if you have been diagnosed previously. That's what I have heard from people who share about PCOS. Basically, you never actually cure PCOS, you can just manage it, which I'm managing mine pretty good. My last 2 periods, 31 days exactly. 31-day cycle, 5-day period, which is great. And I take care of my health. I ovulate, you know, things are going good. But PCOS is not it won't ruin your life. It will change it, but then you also can change and make it a little different. I don't know how helpful this video is going to be to someone, but if you saw this video and you're like, oh, weight gain, weird periods, acne, hair loss, sounds familiar, go see a doctor, get a blood test, get some ultrasounds, and find out what's going on in there. Because even if it's not PCOS, there's probably something, and you can maybe fix it. But yes, I just wanted to put this little unscripted video together. Mostly unscripted, I wrote down some notes, but I just wanted to put a little video together and say, you know, if you are having any similar symptoms, get yourself checked out sooner rather than later so you are able to make the lifestyle changes that you can and hopefully manage PCOS in a way that makes you live life to the fullest. You know, obviously my PCOS hasn't completely disappeared forever. It will likely come back if I, you know, get a little lazy, but I feel good. I have lost some weight. My hair is feeling nice and shiny and thick. My skin is better than it's been for a very long time. And I just feel that, you know, life is getting good. But yes, like I said, this isn't really my normal video, but I just wanted to come on here and share a little about my story, and I will see you this weekend with a brand new video. Bye bye for now.